Hey up everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing alright, and if you're new here, welcome. I never really know how to address new people, so I tend not to. But if you're a new subscriber on my channel, welcome. We like to do a lot of Sims things here, as you can probably tell. Mostly do building, but I have ventured into trying out a Let's Play. I've just started the Not So Berry Challenge. If you're interested in that, I'll link that in the description, or I'll put it on screen. I'll do one or the other. I usually forget to do both, so if it's on screen then you'll know that that's the one that I remembered to do. But today's video is actually part of a collab that I was invited to be a part of, hosted by CokiCreative and godebugyourself on Instagram. I think Koki is also on Tumblr. I mean, she's not called Koki, she's called Alana, but I refer to her as Koki for the sake of like referencing a name. But yeah, either way, I'm pretty sure she's on like Tumblr and other things, but the main way that I know her is through Instagram. And then godebugyourself is a good friend of mine. I've done a challenge for her once before as well. I don't know if I did a video on it, but I think I did an Instagram post. Either way, this is part of the Weddings for All collab. So a while ago, got a DM on Instagram, and well, I was added to a group chat basically explaining the premise of the challenge, or the collab. It's not a challenge, it's a collab. And the idea was kind of founded in the my wedding stories sort of situation that were happening, and we kind of wanted to create some lots where anybody would really be able to download them. You wouldn't necessarily need the pack. You wouldn't necessarily need, like when I said the pack, I mean my wedding stories, and you wouldn't necessarily need all the packs either. So each build will be set in a certain world and only have limited packs. I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this, I can already tell. I'm doing my build in Brindleton Bay, as you can probably tell, and I'm using cats and dogs and laundry day stuff, and those are the only packs that I'm using, and I'm making a wedding venue. Other people might have theirs in Windenburg and then use get together and paranormal stuff as an example. I don't know if anybody's got those exact combinations, but the idea is to create wedding venues or restaurants or lots that reflect a wedding type theme, whether it's a restaurant, a shop, a honeymoon area, a wedding venue, whatever it is, whatever you can think of. Anything that's wedding related, that's what we're doing. And it's called Weddings for All because the intention is that it's for everybody, like everybody could get something from it. Pretty sure there's a base game one as well. Don't hold me to that though, I haven't checked the Discord for a while and I don't know exactly what everybody else is doing. But yeah, either way, I decided to do a wedding venue. It's quite like a mixed bag of things. So, well, mixed bag, it's like 2-in-1 type thing. So it's a wedding venue, your Sims can get married here, but it's also a place where they could be on honeymoon after. So you know, sometimes, right, people will get married at a hotel, or they'll have the reception there, and then they might have like the what's it called, the ceremony like down the road at a registry office, and then they'll go to like this estate home or, you know, a hotel or whatever. They'll have the reception there, and then they'll stay there overnight, and they'll like have family stay over, or the kids, or, you know, the wedding guests or whatever. I wanted to create that sort of thing. The thought of it kind of, or the inspiration behind it, at least the idea of it, not so much the build. Years ago, one of my cousins got married, and they did that, where they got married at wherever. It was all at the same place. They got married there in like this garden area, and then they had the reception there and like the night do and all that, and then they stayed over as well, like the wedding guests, bridesmaids, best man, all that sort of thing, her parents. And yeah, that's kind of what made me think of this. Like, that was the inspiration behind it. The build, the inspiration for it was just, I wanted it to fit in Brindleton Bay pretty well. I wanted it to look like it actually fit here, so I did that traditional, I think it's called like gambrel or gramble, oh my god, I don't even know what it's called. It's a new term anyway that I've just come across. That typical sort of Brindleton Bay roof, you know, where it's kind of like, it goes up, like it's got a little hat on, do you know what I mean? You probably don't, but you will know what I mean. The typical sort of roof that you see in Brindleton Bay. I wanted that sort of style. I looked at a lot of inspiration pictures for this one on Pinterest as usual. I came across a couple and then I kind of just like merged them together. So yeah, that's kind of the inspiration behind it, the idea behind it. I went for a very, very like white and cream theme, like very sort of, how can I explain this? Very just bridal, I guess. And white and cream were used a lot. And I wanted to kind of add nautical elements to it as well. Like there's some pictures inside and there's a lot of like wood, white woods and stuff, which, you know, it does kind of make me think of like nautical stuff. Like it kind of reminds me of like Titanic or something. You know, like in the Titanic, well, on the film, there was a lot of that like white vertical plank wood thing. I'm doing such a bad job of explaining this entire speed build. But yeah, hopefully you know what I mean by nautical and like distressed woods and all that sort of thing. And I also kind of got the vibe from it as I was building, almost like it used to be like a stately home, or like it used to belong to like a sim or a family, and then they've like converted it into a place to be used for a wedding venue. Because I know some places do that. I know the place where my cousin got married, I think it used to be like someone's house, and now they just have it for like events and stuff, for like proms and weddings and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I thought that's, you know, that kind of fit this sort of world, especially in Brindleton Bay. I feel like there's a lot of history with it, with like nautical stuff, because they have those like historical paintings and that. And yeah, I quite like that. I like to add a bit of character to a build with stuff like that, add in like historical photos and stuff. But yeah, we're just doing the interior now. I've just moved on to that, and we're just doing the bathroom. I just wanted it to be quite basic. I was going to cut it out, but I thought I'd show you just what I did with it. This video would have been a lot longer than what it actually is. I cut out a lot of the landscaping just because it got really like repetitive. Decorating the hallways as well got really repetitive because I just sort of copied and pasted really. But for the downstairs hallway or entrance, I wanted this like big staircase going up, and then just like a basic sort of entrance really. It's just there for your Sims to get into the building. And I also cut off some of the walls because it's kind of like a weird shape in it, like the floor plan. So I just thought we'll have some empty wall space that I'll just fill in by making like little triangles in the walls, if that makes any sense. And yeah, I just thought I'd put some loads of flowers down. I think one of the requirements for a wedding venue is to have like 49 indoor plants or something like that. I don't know if you actually have to. I wonder if you'll be able to notice actually as I build, but you know when you click the lot info panel or lot venue info, whatever that I in the top left is called, when you click on that, you know normally if you build like a restaurant or a park, it has lot requirements. Well, for this, it had the lot requirements, but it wasn't checking them off. It was like you need to have a wedding arch, but it was like 0 out of 0, as though you didn't really need that as a requirement. So I don't know if that were like glitched or whatever. I am going to play test it before I upload it. As of recording it right now, I've not actually play tested it. I know that I left the red shelf in at some point, because when I watched it back as I was editing, I saw that I'd left it there. I'm pretty sure I need to like play test the bathroom that's in the what I'd call the bridal suite, because everything's quite close together. But yeah, speaking of the bridal suite, I thought I'd just do quite a basic bedroom. It's just a place for the wedding party to like hang out, or the bride and groom, bride and bride, groom and groom. What's the gender neutral term for that? Spouse and spouse, whoever. And yeah, I also put down some candles from the holiday celebration pack. I'm going to go in and get rid of those. I know that they're technically base game because the holiday celebration pack is a free pack that you can get. But I read somewhere that like not everybody can get that. I think it's only available on Origin, but I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, and if anybody knows about that. But I decided not to include it just because on the sign up sheet for the collab, I didn't sign up to use that pack. I'm pretty sure everybody can use it, seeing as it's considered base game. But I just decided not to, so I do need to change those. But you'll see the final fully playtested version in the screenshots. And then I also decided to build or furnish rather, a guest bedroom. I imagine this could be where like the married couples, kids could stay, or the bridesmaids or whatever. And also I will say as well, before I forget, because I need to actually mention this collab is not actually a save file. So previous collabs that I've done, they're usually a save file. This one is different in that it's not, because it's just us making like builds and lots and whatever else. And that way people can like pick and choose what they want to download. So you don't have a full save file to like save to your saves and mess about. It's just a case of going on the gallery, downloading it as you would with any other build from the gallery. So if you do want to download it and there's, you know, other builds that you want to download from the collab, what I'll do is, I mean, obviously if you want to download mine, it's just HutchPlays, all one word, on the gallery. I'll put the names of everybody that's part of the collab in the description, and those will be their Instagram names, which is probably the best place for you to look at like their builds. So yeah, I'll do that. And then just moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen is purely just a place for, obviously, Sims to like cook and prepare the wedding food and everything. But I thought if your Sims do like host the wedding here, if you hire a cook, they should, or a chef, whatever, they should come to this kitchen and like prepare food and everything. Because of where the kitchen is in relation to the dining table, you might have to drag and drop the food as they make it. I think I also alter the kitchen slightly. Oh, I already altered it. I had to cut out a lot of the footage for the kitchen because there was a lot of back and forth. I wanted the cooker facing an external wall. Not that it really matters, not that it's like important, and yes, I did notice that the cooker hood is clipping through the wall. I fixed that, don't worry about it. But not that it matters where the cooker is in a build, because it's the Sims, it doesn't really matter. You could put it in the middle of the room if you really wanted to. I just wanted it to look as though it were like more realistic. So in real life, a cooker kind of needs some form of like ventilation, I guess. I mean, it don't really, because my cooker in my kitchen's on and it's facing an internal wall. But either way, I wanted it to face an external wall and just have it a bit more realistic. And yeah, I put, like I said, the historical pictures in like the dining room. I did that traditional sort of, you know, two-seater table at the head of the room where the married couple would be sat, and then the guest table. There's a lot of places to sit and eat actually. I also put a dining table on the outside on the like patio thing. And yeah, I think it kind of makes sense. I think for the most part, there's, you know, they've got a place to sit and eat. We end up making the marriage bit with like the archway and the aisle and all that sort of thing in a bit. Oh, we're doing that now. And then we've got like a ballroom upstairs, kind of. And then we have like an outside ballroom. Not really a ballroom, an outside space where the Sims can dance or whatever. But yeah, we're just doing the, what is it even called, where the Sims walk down the aisle? Like, what would this room be called? I guess the wedding room or the marriage room. The ceremony room, I guess. I just wanted this to be quite basic. I wanted it to be functional, so I didn't want to clutter it up too much. I didn't want a ton of things going on. I just wanted it to look nice and be functional, basically. So I just put down a carpet to act as like the aisle, and then a bunch of benches, and then some of the historical paintings that I was talking about. I just thought that they would add a nice touch to the build. And later on, I also had a piano to this room because I forgot all about the grand pianos in the game. I never used them, so I just forgot about them. But yeah, just doing the balcony now. Just wanted this to be quite like a basic balcony, really. I didn't want a lot going on out here, so I just put some benches, a table, candles. That's all you really need, really. It's just a space for your Sims to sit and like chat. Kind of envisioned it would be like a smoking area. Kind of a weird thing to add to a wedding venue, but they're pretty much a staple in any sort of like wedding event, in my opinion. Every wedding I've ever gone to, there's always a little area where people can go and smoke, which, you know, back in the day used to be inside the venue, so, you know, you need an outdoor space now. And then for the upstairs, like the ballroom bit, it's not really a ballroom, it's just a space where the Sims can like have a dance. So we put a bar up here. I don't know why I'm saying we. I put a bar up here. And then some music and stuff and some chairs, and then I also altered the lighting as well, just to add like a bit of a like a dance floor sort of, I don't know, a coloured light, because I feel like when, you know, you go to somewhere where you have like a dancing area or a bar area, there's a lot of like mood lighting or whatever, so I decided to do that. And then after that, I think we move on to the back garden. Like I said, there was a lot of things cut out because like the upstairs landing space, you'll probably be able to see it, but I didn't see the point in like not recording it, but I didn't see the point in including the footage of it because it's just the same as what I did downstairs basically. Put a couple of rugs down, side tables with flowers, a couple of chairs and some paintings. It's not like that interesting to watch. I wanted to focus more on the rooms that I like actually made for the build. Then we move on to the back garden. I don't know if it's counted as a back garden when it's like a stately home. I guess it is. The outdoor space that's around the back of the house. Again, cut some landscaping out for this because it would just rinse and repeat of what I'd done out front really, but I did include a bit of the footage just to show you the overall idea. I used a lot of the same plants. I had to use those like, oh, I can't remember what they're called, those like green succulents from Cats and Dogs because I just love those. I'd use those in every build if I could. And then I added a lot of like white flowery type plants as well. And then I also created like a kiddie area. One climbing frame and a bit of sand. It's not really a kiddie area, it's not like the play area of dreams, but I always think like at a wedding, like if it's a big family event, you usually are going to have kids there, so you do need a space to keep them entertained, otherwise they're running riot, you know, knee sliding under tables, kicking off, like it's just a lot, so they need a space where they can let off steam, preferably outside where no one can get damaged, although if it were my family then flower beds would be dug straight up. But yeah, I just added a little climbing frame. I'm pretty sure that they can play on sand, like terrain paint, and make sandcastles out of it. I know they can in Island Living, but I don't know if you need Island Living for it to affect all sand in the game. I'll double check that actually, because that's why I put it down, because I thought, I know for a fact that kids, or I really think any sim, can build sandcastles with sand terrain paint. They don't actually have to be on like a beach. But I don't know if you need Island Living for that to work. So I'll play test that and I'll let you know actually. I'll put it on the screen whether or not it's like a base game thing or not. But yeah, then for the rest of the outdoor space, I wanted to keep it quite simple because I wanted it to not be too cluttered. It's not a very big, I mean it's a big like outdoor space, but it's like long and skinny, so it's kind of like awkward to put things in there. But yeah, just adding the grand piano like I said earlier, just adding that to the wedding ceremony room, and then I also put one outside, and that eventually gave me the idea to add like a platform or like a stage or a gazebo or whatever you want to call it, like a little gazebo with a platform, and then created that into a space where your Sims can like sit and listen to the piano music, I guess. But then that'll bring us to the screenshots after we built that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry it were kind of like all over the place and rambly in the beginning. Most people said they don't mind that I ramble or that I don't ramble, but I think I do. So sorry if it were kind of all over the place. I feel like we got it together, you know, part way through, 3/4 of the way through. Hopefully I started to make sense after that. But yeah, if you do want to download this build, like I said, you can download it from the gallery. My ID is HutchPlays. I'll put all the names of the participants to the collab in the description. As I said, the build will be play tested before it's uploaded to the gallery, so as you're watching this, it's already done. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you later. Bye!